Alright, the thing to note about medium leather farming is that you don't get medium leather by itself generally. You're either going to get light leather combined with medium leather, or you're going to get medium leather combined with heavy leather. And that's the case in all three of these spots. Okay, the first spot that we're going to talk about is Green Warden's Grove. Right outside of that, you can see the exact spot on the map in this video, or you can go to zedsguide.com if you want to look at the map for a longer period of time. Anyway, what you're going to look for is you're going to look for the battle between the Dragon Maw Whelp Stealers and the Ebon Slave Hunters, and you're going to kill the Ebon Slave Hunters and skin as many of them as you like, because this is a continuous respawn. These things will respawn quickly all day long, and you can just sit there and skin them for hours upon end if you want. The drop rate here is going to be roughly 60% light leather, 40% medium leather. But again, the big advantage to this spot is these things are, you don't ever run out of them. You can skin as many of them as you want. If you want to sit here for 10 hours, you can, and you're never going to run out of them. You probably need to be, roughly at least level 35 to do this, even though these creatures are 24, 25, because you're basically stuck between the two mobs. And if you're around level 24, 25 yourself, you're going to get smashed and you're going to die a lot. I'm not saying that you can't do it if you have good gear, but expect to die a lot. Okay, our next spot is also in the wetlands. Again, if you're a member of the Horde, you're going to have to ride into this zone because there's no Horde flight points in the zone, which isn't really that big a deal. But if you're Alliance, you can fly directly into the harbor in the zone and ride out the front gates of the harbor, because the zone's going to be right along the road on the right hand side. These are going to be roughly level 22 raptors. It's a very large zone, so even though these raptors don't respawn as quickly as the Ebon Slave Hunters, the zone is so large you can sweep the entire zone and go back and start at the beginning, and the original raptors that you have killed are going to be respawned. You're going to get the same roughly 60 to 40 light to medium leather mix here. My technique is to kind of go near the eggs and draw all the raptors at once, so you can skin 4, 5, 6 of them at once instead of just doing one at a time. It makes it go fairly quick. Overall, this spot's a little bit easier than the first one I talked about. Alright, this brings us to our final spot, and this spot's different than the first two, and then it drops a combination of medium and heavy leather. So if you're a little bit higher level and you don't want any light leathers, this is the best spot to go to. What you do is you go to the Cape of Stranglethorn Vale, and you go to the Crystal Vine Mine, and you're going to kill the basilisk that are right outside the cave entrance and the ones inside the caves themselves. And you're going to skin these. There's enough of these if you do the ones outside and then do the ones inside. By the time you move back outside, the ones there are going to just be respawning, so you can maintain this for a fairly long time and you get a good drop rate. The only really downside to this particular spot is there's a lot of heavy PvP action in this area. In fact, when I made this video, I got killed twice by level 90s from the opposing faction, and it seems like this whole zone, regardless of what you're doing, always has a ton of 90s in it, just hanging out. So it can be a little tricky if you're on that type of realm, but other than that, it's a great spot. And that's all I have for you on medium leather farming. Please feel free to comment on the video on YouTube or on the post itself on the zedsguide.com website. Thank you.